have you ever been accused of, criticized, judged, and blamed for something you have no idea where it's even come from? Have you yourself ever questioned someone without any clarification, allowing them to have a chance to explain themselves, and you decide to stay mad at them just to realize that you are overthinking? Do you ever wonder where that come from? That is also projection. It is uncomfortable to be blamed and accused, criticized for what we have no idea where it come from. In today's video, we are going to dive deep into the subject of projection. Why do people project? Where is it coming from? And are you projecting yourself on others? If so, what to do to stop? How to stop others from projecting themselves at you? And the last things that I want to talk about is positive projection. I know this is a lot, but if you know me and you watch my channel, I like to dig deep, even though it's uncomfortable. But it's the only way for growth. Because after this video, your awareness will rise up to the top and you will stop projecting your problem into others. Not just problem, there are many other things. We'll go into it later. And you know how to have a peace of mind when other people are projecting themselves on you. Hi, it's your soul sister, Delilah. I am here to share my lesson and mistake so you don't have to make the same mistake I did. You're welcome. Here are the chapters. Let's dive right in. So let's talk about what is projection. It's a really long list, okay? When people projecting their pain, criticism, anger, defensiveness, desire, judgment, blame, past experiences, irritation, past trigger, inner wounds, unhealed wounds on you. They are denying these existence in themselves. Instead, they attribute it into others, conscious or unconsciously. So how do you think this affects us? It hurts, especially if it comes from someone we love, someone we care about, someone that we wish for them to understand where we are coming from. We would feel triggered and we want to fight back immediately. We feel the need to explain for ourselves, protect ourselves, and get back at them. I know this is natural, but it's unhealthy to do, because what you're doing is you're exchanging energy. It's just going back and forth like this. They project themselves on you and you get mad and you start it back at them and they don't see it. They continue projecting and just keep going like that. It's really a waste of energy. For example, if your parents tell you you'll never make it, they're not really talking about you, especially if you're working on it hardcore, okay? Whatever project that you're doing. They are projecting their own insecurity and regrets on you because they did not make it. Let's say your friends say you're dreaming too big. You're greedy and too ambitious. They are projecting their insecurity and resentment on you because they did not make their dream happen. Again, all of this could come from a very unconscious level. They're not doing that to hurt you. It just, this is what they feel and what they experience that they haven't worked through yet. Let's say I used to be so triggered and I would project myself when I see a post that of someone on social media that I don't really have a good relationship with, and then they say something and I'm like, is the person talking about me? Excuse me, are you being passive aggressive? But maybe they're not even talking about me. So how many times did you see just a random post get so many people pissed off because people are projecting themselves on the post? Just like that with YouTube video that I post, I would see a wall start blowing up in my shorts and I'm like, what's going on in here? Like everyone just really taking it back as I'm attacking them, or they taking it as they expressing their own experience about the situation. So everyone is projecting, believe me, just in a level of consciousness or unconsciousness. And if we are more conscious, we are more aware, and we will work on it so it will keep our peace of mind. People who are more quiet and insecure would see somebody that is bold and loud and expressive as a threat, because they cannot be that way even if they wanted to. They will feel like the person is annoying, irritated, all over the place. When the person is expressive and speak their mind, and if they're on the reserved and quiet side, they will think the person is loud and obnoxious. Like, I don't get triggered by people like that. I like that actually, because I'm kind of loud. So it's like when I see people judging other for being loud, being themselves, I start to think back, like, why are you judging them? Are you not able to be that way? That's why. On the other hand, I am very expressive, but I had to hold back and be a certain type of image before in front of the family of people that I dated. So I would have to be really reserved and talk less and be gentle and ladylike and soft. And then next thing, when we are at a family dinner and I start seeing some other girls do it and they are a lot more soft, I would automatically feel irritated, because in my mind I'm like, ew, you're fake. But was they faking it? Maybe that's just how they are. I get irritated because of how soft they are. You see what I mean by projection? I have an aunt who really allergic to the way if a lady is showing too much skin on her dress, and it's not even too much, just a little bit more confident in her clothes, she would feel very irritated and she'll have negative comment right away. But it all come back to her past when her first boyfriend cheated on her with a woman who dressed something like that, and in her mind, all women who dress that way are bad and bad image, bad experience. Or secretly, maybe when she grew up, grandma did not allow her to dress that way, and even though she really wanted to, she was never able to, and she would resent people who dress like that. Just like that with bullying. They can't do what to do, so they have to attack you. They have to talk down on you. They can't stand your confidence, so they need to bring you down, throw you on the ground and make you feel low, and, crush your confidence as much as they can. They doubt your success. They would always say that's just pure luck, or you born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Don't get me wrong. I believe that people are different and we are allowed to be different and have different opinion. But if you are going to come to the point where you insult and you criticize someone, judging them for being who they are, where they didn't hurt you, they didn't have anything to do with you or your problem, then I think that's crossing the line. That's being too much. Allow people to be themselves. Nobody's stopping you from being yourself, right? So let's talk about why do people project and where is it coming from? It's all coming from within. Trust me, it's so hard for someone who doesn't feel good from the inside, who has not worked on their wounds and their issue, to see the beauties in others, to be open-minded and accept that there are other ways in life beside their own way. Do you want to be the clearer lens or the dirty lens? This is what the clear lens would say. So this is an example of somebody who worked on themselves. If there's any stain on the glass, they instantly be aware and clean it off so that they can continue to look at life in a much clearer lens. And this is an example of somebody who doesn't work on themselves. And this is what the dirty lens would see. So it doesn't matter what they see out there. All they can see through life is through the foggy and dirty lens of whatever they're filtering themselves through. People's behavior are reflecting of their wounds and how they feel toward themselves. It has nothing to do with you. It leads to projection from internal discomfort. Vietnamese have a quote, giận cá chém thớt. When you are upset at the fish, you would chop the chopping board instead. I don't know why when I translate, it doesn't sound that good, that deep, but it's pretty funny. So, or you can see when the wife is mad at the husband and she can't yell at him, so she chopped really hard on the board instead. A lot of time, projection come from insecurity. People don't know how to deal with their own feelings and emotion. Therefore, they fall into the victim mindset. And when they are a victim, they hate everyone. So they project their hatred on them, or they are in toxic positivity where they think that everything's supposed to be beautiful and love and light, and life's supposed to be perfect, and they project that on other people too. Why aren't you that way? It's a lot of deeper level. They could be projecting because they are so positive, and there is the part of you being negative or something that they don't like. It's also inside of them because they're lying to themselves, so they project that off you. Because let's face it, it's hard to face the truth sometimes. It's hard to admit your own feeling and your own flaws and the wound that you still have to work on. By doing that, they feel a temporary sense of relief. Remember that they are unaware. They could do this in a very unconscious level. Sadly, but nobody teach us how to not project. We don't learn this until way later on in life. Next thing is their own limiting belief. They can only see it from their own perspective. They resent you for who you are and the ability for you to express yourself. They want what you have, but they are unwilling to work for it, to change themselves, to grow to their best version. So instead, they would hold that resentment on you. They want your authenticity, especially when people, they're not really true to themselves. They resent you for being so real and so authentic. It's like too much. Tone it down. Like, no, I don't want to tone myself down. This is who I am. They may think that there's nothing wrong with them and their idea and opinions. Therefore, you are the wrong one. If you don't work on your wound, anything out there would trigger you. Anything that people say or do, you would jump up and down when it have nothing to do with you. I used to be a very jumpy person. Is a person talking about me? Is they attacking me? But the more I work on my wound and triggers, I know it's not about me. I need to just chill out and recognize that I have things to do. I have problems. I have wound that I need to heal. Instead of point my finger and blame others for hurting my wound, I just try to live through life covering it up like it's nothing when it's still hurting me from the inside. Watch this. Watch this. Let's say if you have a wound, this is what you're doing to it. You're just putting guards on top, and you cover yourself up like nothing happened, right? And you carry on with life like that. Someone doesn't know, they walk by, they accidentally trigger, ow, as your reaction, because you're hurting and they don't know that. So they will think that you are overreacting. When you don't take care of your wound the right way, that is how you will react to others. Feel the layer open. Go deep into your healing work and really dig deep, not just putting things on top. When your wound is really healed, anybody can trigger you and you will have no reaction. Oh my God, guys, I'm so sorry. The microphone was off the whole time. I did not see it, so I just plug it on right now. Apologize for the crazy audible you have to deal with. They suppress their emotion. You know, when people suppress their emotion, it's the most dangerous thing, because it's like they have so much trigger in them, but they don't know how to take it out a healthy way. They scared to look weak if they talk about their problems, or they don't want to stand out like, oh, I'm the one with the issue. But the more they keep doing that, the more they sunken deeper into denial and project themselves on others even more. Okay, I have an example. I had a really close friend. She went through a lot and she had a very abusive partner. So when things didn't work out between him and her, I stayed around and take care of her for a long time. But it was just very hard to be around her because she's criticized and find flaws in everything I do. And as much as I understand where she's coming from and the struggle that she had to go through, after a while, it's get tiring, you know. After a while, I had to detach myself because I love her so much and I don't want to hurt the friendship. And I had to remove myself, take a break from her, and allow her to deal with her own problem and triggers and wounds that she has, so that she can stop projecting her pain on me when I didn't do anything. When you do this, you will cope on addiction, alcohol. So whenever she's drunk, she would cry for hours. And that's because she's expressing so much of her emotion. And it's very sad to watch her go through that. But as much as I want to be there for her, I'm not even strong enough. It's not about being selfish. It's about keeping your cup full so you can fill into others' cup. I don't like to label anybody as toxic anymore because I feel like we were all there at some point. Except if you have like perfect parents who raise you right in the environment you grew up to. But it just either the person is still in that stage or they are out of it. People who are willing to work on themselves will continue to grow and improve. And if they don't, then it's really not your call. You can only inspire someone. You can only share your story and speak about your own experience, mistake and lesson. But it's up to them if they want to observe it or not. It's not your call to trying to fix the whole world. Seriously, you can't change the world. Change yourself first, and then the world will follow if you make a good example for yourself. It's time to be honest, you guys. Are you projecting yourself on others? Believe me, everybody project. It's just a level of awareness, like as I talked about earlier. So don't feel bad if you know you do at some time. You should feel proud of yourself for being here listening and still staying to this point. That means you are willing to learn to stop projecting, because projecting not just harming the relationship, harming the other person, but it's harming your peace as well. Okay, let me go through a series of questions and you can ask yourself this. Do you catch yourself judging? Let's say when you are watching a channel or you are reading a book or you are watching a podcast, listening to a singer or something, and you don't really feel resonate with the person. That's okay. You don't have to like everything that everybody else like. You have all your right to disagree, and it just doesn't feel resonate. Sometimes I come across a channel and the person speak really well, really good, but I just don't feel like the energy is the same, so I just exit. But I don't have any bitter or judgmental feeling toward the speaker. If I do, then I check myself. Why do I feel this way? Because if you are irritated at someone just for expressing themselves, just for speaking their mind, just for stating their point, you feel defensive, aggressive. You want to take it out on them. And let's say when you see someone's success, instead of being happy for them, you would automatically say, oh, they're privileged, they're just lucky, whatever, born with a silver spoon in their mouth. You need to check yourself, because that is not being fair to the person. That's just projecting your own insecurity on them. It's okay to disagree, but you still have to keep a level of respect for the person. Let them be able to express themselves and be who they are without really labeling them. Let's say if you think somebody is self-obsessed, then you think back at yourself. Do I not love myself? That's why I think they are self-obsessed. Because if they're self-obsessed, that's their problem. Have nothing to do with me. Why am I feeling irritated about this? Or when I watch certain girls' channel and they're too soft, gentle, ladylike, sometimes I start feeling like, whoa, girl, speak up. I can't hear you. Why you gonna be that way? Why you so pretentious? And I check myself. I'm like, whoa, why am I reacting over somebody that's her own style? She has an audience who are soft, who love to listen to her. So that is me projecting my insecurity or what I don't have on her. Now, let's talk about what to do, because you don't want to live through life projecting everything about you on other people. First thing is to be aware. Always be aware that you are doing it. Pay attention to how you feel when you hear about a person, or how the way you react, like this emotion inside of you. If you feel defensive, check yourself first, not the other person. The next thing is to slow down on your reaction. Don't jump up and down just yet. Figure out where's the wound inside of you that you need to dig out and ask yourself right now. Dig deep to know where this comes from. Meditate. When you meditate, you can really go deep to see where are all the wounds and what triggering you. So it's a very important practice to be aware and find out why you're protecting yourself on others. Ask for someone you trust honest opinion. Do you think that I'm projecting myself off the person? Or do you think that this is just my own opinion? And make sure the person is being honest enough to tell you the truth. Work on your self-love. And the more self-love and self-work you do and you have, you will find yourself a lot less to project yourself on others, because you are more compassionate, accepting, and understanding that this is your own wound, that this is what you've worked through. You recognize it before you even start putting it on others. Allow people to be themselves, to be who they are. Did they hurt you? Did they steal from you? If they didn't do anything, then why do you have a problem with people being who they are? I think it's so ridiculous. You know, coming from me, I used to be very judgmental, and now it's very minimum. And when I catch myself, I call myself out, like, Delilah, what do you think you're doing? There's a lady in my dance class, Zumba, and she always dance upbeat, and she stand in front of everyone, okay? And it's like she's right in front of me, and I'm right here, and she keep dancing offbeat, and I get irritated. But I'm just like, why do you get mad, Delilah? She didn't do anything to you. Like, calm down. You know, what if she's left hand or right handed, opposite with you? Like, allow her to be her. Who cares? So even though you don't feel resonate with someone's opinion, ideas, the way they dance, keep it to yourself. They didn't ask you, hey, am I doing it right? You know, we are struggling from different problem and different things. So be compassionate and accepting of others. Let people be. Let's talk about what to do when others project themselves at you. Seriously, take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. First thing, I want you to not take it personal, please. I know it's the hardest thing to ask. It's like they're attacking you. What do you mean not taking it personal? But have compassion. People might not even know they're doing it. Again, like what I've been explaining to you about, it's all come from the inner wounds and their subconscious mind. And I'm not making excuses, okay? I am just trying to get you to understand where they are coming from. But the more self-love that you have, the more self-work that you work on yourself, the less you care. Seriously. And you will have a slower reaction to it, because you have the ability to take a step back and be aware before you react to it. Remember that energy transfer. So when you react and you go back and forth, you're harming yourself. At the same time, you're taking over all this energy, the projection from the other person. Next thing is call them out. I mean, sometimes you just have to do it. But I want you to do it knowing that this is for you, for your own ease, and not letting people pushing your boundary. But that doesn't mean you expect the person to understand from your perspective, especially if they don't work on themselves. You know, even when they don't understand where you're coming from, just be honest anyways and be expressive, because that's how you feel. And if the person really matter, they would take a step back and they would consider that they should not continue to do that to you. If not, then you guys are just not meant to be in each other's life, because I think it's unfair to ask us to continue and put up with someone when they keep crossing our boundary because of all the wounds and the projection that they refuse to work on themselves. And this is when I'm talking about boundaries right here. To me, setting a boundary is not to hurt the relationship or other people around you or to control them. It's because you care enough about the people around you so that you set a boundary to protect how you feel in the relationship. Imagine if you don't have any boundaries, sooner or later the relationship is going to be thrown out the window. So setting boundary is so important. You can watch this video about setting boundary and you'll understand more. Next thing is to create a shield. So meditate and imagine there's a bubble covering around you, and all the negativity cannot get to you. And when they project themselves at you, sorry, but it's gonna bounce back at them because you're protected in your own bubble. Then when all of this doesn't work, then you need to learn to let them deal with themselves. Walk away for now or for good. That depends on how much the person is willing to work on themselves or not. So let's talk about positive projection. I am guilty, so guilty. How many times you catch yourself trying to project a certain way you want your partner, your kids, your family to understand, accept, and think the way you are, and be inspired by the same thing you inspire by, thinking the same as you, because that's how you want things to be. But when you keep doing this so much, you would fall into the illusion of fantasy that it will ended up making you feel more disappointed, because you cannot change people. They have to want to change for themselves. You can only inspire people. You are disappointed and not accepting and not facing with the truth. So it's best to not projecting positivity on anybody else. Just work on yourself instead. In that way, you set them free and you set yourself free. Okay? If the person is not meeting your standard, it's your call. Don't force them. It's your call to remove yourself or stay in the situation. That was a lot. My throat is getting dry from just talking. Seriously. I hope that it was helpful. We cover from what is projection, why do people project, do you project, and how to stop, what to do when other people project to you, positive projection. If you find value in this video, please hit that like, subscribe button to support my channel. Please share if you think anybody needs this so we can stop projecting on each other. And I hope after this video, you will understand about projection and how when you project yourself on other and when other project themselves on you, and truly find peace of mind whenever you are in the storm of projecting back and forth, so you can truly rise no matter what situation you are in. If you like this video, please watch this one next. I love you and I believe in you more than ever for sitting through this video. I send you so much love and encouragement to face with projection and keep a peace of mind. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.